Right? We can still have fun. We're calling this meeting to order at 11:04 a.m. Thank you for coming to our latest Guam Green Growth Steering Committee meeting. The main purpose of our meeting today is to catch up a little bit on all of our different categories of action, what you're doing in your groups, and prepare for our upcoming meetings, which will be the Guam Green Growth Gathering. I'm sorry, the Green Growth Gathering. It's going to be other green growth partnerships coming in, and this will be held during our 17th University of Guam Conference on Island Sustainability on April 22nd. That'll be the Wednesday of that week at the High. So that's our big announcement for today, and we'll go over some of the logistics of that, but we need everybody's latest reports in by ahead of that. I think Cam will have a date for us, but we want to get that into the report, and then our format is going to be a little different. Instead of each report, we're going to do like a highlight panel of some of the most interesting things and accomplishments that have happened for Guam Green Growth over the last year, because we have also need to make room for our partners coming in from CNMI Green Growth, Marshall Islands Green Growth, Hawaii Green Growth will be there, and then hopefully we can get somebody from Palau as well. And other good news is that we might also have representatives from Okinawa to join us, and they will talk about the process that they do for their implementation of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. They go through the voluntary local review process, which is something that we want to get to one day, which is like the real high-level reporting that goes to the United Nations. It's not required of us, of course, since we're not a UN member, but it's always, since we have all the data, it's a really great way to demonstrate our local actions for global impact. But I'll pause there and pass it over to Cam to give her update and give us some instructions on what we're doing today.
Thanks, Dr. Shelton. Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to let you folks know that I had sent out invitations for the working group members to register for the 17th Conference on Island Sustainability. The conference will be held from April 20th to the 24th, and it will begin with the GPA Power Symposium, which is by invitation only on April 20th to the 21st. As Dr. Shelton had mentioned, on Wednesday, April 22nd, we will host a Green Growth Gathering. As G3 working group members, we hope that you're able to attend. Of course, I will be in touch with you and our working groups at the beginning of the month, just to inform you folks of the agenda and what we hope to.
But and then our Green Growth Gathering, and that first night is all free on the agenda because it's part of our community night where everybody can come in. And then we give you a discount for the main days of the conference on Thursday and Friday. But if you have issues with funding that with your offices, even at the discount, then just let Cam know, and we'll try to find other sources to help cover the cost of registration, which is really all the food and things that we need to cover as part of the big conference. And so we're looking, last year we had over 1,500 people coming in from all over the world, not just Guam and Micronesia, but also from Asia, from the US mainland. We had some from Japan as well, and several from the Caribbean. So we're expecting a wide audience again of all of our different partners from around the world that are working on these sustainability topics. The conference theme this year is illuminating the path to prosperity. So there will be a little more of an economic focus, and seeing how green growth contributes to the future of our island, the economic diversification, and also the tagline that we've been saying for Guam Green Growth over the past few years is that we're working to achieve a sustainable, prosperous, and equitable future. And so there's a lot of hot topics right now that are part of that conversation. We know that we have the deep sea mining issues, and we know that we're still struggling with tourism, and we need to also plan for what happens after the military buildup comes to an end or that starts waning off. What are the other areas of economic diversification and continued growth of this green sector? So we're looking forward to bringing in some innovators on that topic and having a lot of you contribute also through our green growth gathering. Okay, Cam, do you want to lead the
Sure.
next part?
All right, so we'll go into our updates from our G3 working group leads. If I can have Director Lola Biancarro begin providing an update for the Healthy and Prosperous Communities.
Okay, can I just have Art
Yes.
provide, and then I will come in for 2 parts of the Healthy and Prosperous Communities.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Shelton and members of this G3 group. With regards to Zero Hunger and Healthy and Prosperous Communities, just a recap from the last report, we want to share the Public Health and Social Services in 2023 issued a total $162,375,418.74 of disbursements. This includes the Women, Infant, and Children Program, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, formerly known as Food Stamp, and the Elderly Nutrition Program, Congregate and Home Delivery. In 2024, combined, they issued $132,691,251.16. The difference of $162 million in 2023 and 2024 of $132 million is attributed to Typhoon Mawar disbursements, wherein SNAP was issued to participants of the program, but also to non-typical participants were able to apply for SNAP benefits as a result of Typhoon Mawar. In 2025, a total of $144,829,091.26 was again disbursed through Public Health and Social Services, again the 3 programs WIC, SNAP, EMPC 1 and 2. For these 3 years, a total of $439,895,761.16 was disbursed by Public Health and Social Services. Alongside, in terms of food security, Public Health now has the Division of Homeless Assistance and Poverty Prevention. They currently operate the Emergency Food Assistance Program, referred to as TFAP. It was formerly under Guam Department of Education. They serve over 12,000 households. They work with the mayor's office and other nonprofit organizations to provide these food items. They also now partner with the other divisions, as Public Health and Social Service has a mobile clinic, and they join that mobile clinic to do assessments and navigation services for those facing housing instability. They're also working on several projects to provide shelter to vulnerable populations. There's a New York Apartments, 18 units. It is estimated to open in May of 2026, and the target population are women, children, and small families. Once operational, these units may be utilized by agencies to support individuals and families who are in programs that promote or are clients of family reunification efforts, child protective services, Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center. There is also a Tumuni transitional home for the elderly. It has a 32-unit capacity. It is to address a lot of social cases at GMH to decompress the hospital. The opening is expected in late 2026. It's currently undergoing renovation and repair of the lift. Public Health is also researching Medicaid waiver to help offset the cost of this home once it is ready to receive residents. Another program is DHAP, Bed at Night. This is a warehouse in Tumuni that will have the capacity for approximately 40 cots for street homeless to be safe and sheltered at night. During the day, the facility will be open for wraparound services connection. Our target population in this project is street homeless. Current status is the renovation plans have been completed. Funding and bids are to follow in the near future through CDBG-DR, Funds Opportunity. Estimated date of completion is summer of 2027. They also have been awarded the DHAP, Division of Homeless Assistance and Poverty Prevention, has been awarded a U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development grant to support housing and recovery services for domestic violence survivors. This program will provide safe housing and supportive services to assist survivors in achieving stability and recovery. They received $396,000 for this grant. They also have shelter assistance for the elderly, or Safe House. This is a memorandum of understanding that was executed between DPHSS and the Guam Housing Corporation. To date, the Safe House program has sheltered 8 elderly adults. Currently, 2 GMH social cases are staying at the shelter from January 9th. This is mitigating approximately $7,000 per day by freeing up GMH bed space. Total cost for this is 74 days is $518,000 at GMH. The total cost for the Safe House is $50,000 per year, budgeted for 26. Public Health and Social Service and the DHAP was also appropriated $500,000 to support programs addressing homelessness. This is in the current 2026 budget with a portion designated for the Guam Homeless Coalition. $428,000 is being sub-granted to Guam Homeless Coalition to implement targeted programs aimed at reducing homelessness, to avoid evictions, providing shelter and food services, expanding access to medical services. These efforts strengthen community-based responses and enhance coordination of services for individuals experiencing homelessness. Another update we'd like to share is traffic data fatalities. We have data from 2021 through 2025. Fatalities for 2025 total is 25, dropped to 17 in 2022, went up to 27 in 2023, slightly dropped by 1 in 2024 to 26, and another reduction of 1 in 2025. The average fatalities for the period of 2021 through 2025 is 24, with 2023 having the highest number of fatalities at 27, and the lowest year being 2022 with 17 fatalities. The highest related cause of fatalities is speed at 41 for the 5-year period, with 2023 having the highest at 13, and the lowest in 2024 at 5. The lowest related cause of fatalities is bicyclists, at 1 in 2023 and 2024, which is the same number of fatalities of 1 for alcohol-impaired driving fatalities in 2022, and motorcyclist fatalities in 2021 and 2025, and unrestrained passenger vehicle occupant fatalities in 2023.
Okay, so I'm gonna report under the good health and well-being and decent work and economic growth. So from the Bureau of Women's Affairs, for sexual assault awareness and prevention, BWA has secured $3 million in federal funds from the Office on Violence Against Women grant over the past 4 years, and this is to strengthen Guam's response to domestic violence and sexual assault. For under education, they have a empowerment program that encourages women over 18 who dropped out of school to complete their high school education. This program provides a $500 scholarships. To date, there are 33 women who have been paid scholarships since the first cohort completion in May 2023. Under the Improving Prenatal Care for Marginalized Women, BWA's Guahan Doula project aims to reduce maternal and infant mortality by supporting marginalized pregnant women through pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. Over two dozen doulas have been trained. The doula group sessions in village settings have been completed. And BWA is also developing a public service campaign to further raise awareness of doula services and connect more women to this care. Can I just clarify this? Is this part of BWA? Okay. Now I'm going to go into the decent work and economic growth. And this is information, I'm basically reporting on the 10-year goal of establishing sustainable and profitable cottage industries that GUMA's handling. So under their training and mentoring, the 12 cohort continues strong with 104 registered at orientation. They received 62 applications from the formal training. Their weekly participation remains steady. They average 55 to 60 participants, with week 7 completed on March 21st. Participants are actively using the online lessons plan. Graduation for the 12th cohort is scheduled for May 30, 2026. GUMA also has a pilot program with Bank of Guam to do mentoring. Bank of Guam developed a 3-month plan and identified 7 employers to mentor GUMA 2024 incubators. Mentors will meet individually with their mentees over a 3-month period to provide hands-on guidance, accountability, and strategic advice. The program aims to strengthen business foundation, support strategic growth, and provide real-world financial and operational guidance to emerging local entrepreneurs. Under the incubators program, there's 54 incubators have been supported to date. For 2025, 9 applications were received for funding, with 4 awarded, 3 withdrawn, 1 incomplete, and 1 is pending revised documents. So GUMA has actually secured funding for their programs. They received $64,000 from USDA, $120,000 from Creative West 2, $125,000 from the Federal Home Loan Bank of Des Moines through Bank of Guam. And they also received an appropriation from the legislature. It's a GITA pass-through that was secured under Public Law 37-125. Under GUMA's Makers Market, they will be opening at Guam Premier Outlets on March 28. This is managed by Cabo Valley Retail and is outfitted by DFS Guam. There are 30 vendors who will participate. Under their trade shows and export development, GUMA has active partnership with GITA's Guam State Trade Expansion Program. This acronym for STEP. The STEP program helps small business increase exports through training, financial assistance, and market access. This program is funded by SBA. GUMA will also be participating in the Tokyo Food X as an observer, and plans are underway with GITA for the Guam Trade Show in Shizuoka, Japan, that's scheduled in September 2026. GUMA also has technical assistance is provided from the State Small Business Credit Initiative. This is a U.S. Treasury program that was funded by ARPA, which provides free specialized consultant to help small businesses, particularly in the underserved areas, to secure capital. Right now, they're providing an 8-week financial literacy program for small businesses operating 3 to 5 years. Under their outreach and education, GUMA's social media presence continues to grow. They have 3,721 followers across Facebook and Instagram. There's also engagements from February 21st to March 22 that they've reached 21,275 combined views and interactions. And that's what I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you, Lola.
Thank you both for providing those updates. We'll move on to the Thriving Natural Resources Working Group. Ms. Khan.
Thank you. Fran is off island, so I'll be doing the presentation or report out. So under Thriving Natural Resources, we were invited to submit a full proposal under the Hazard Mitigation Fund for $1.5 million. It's to work with Department of Agriculture, Forestry Division, the GWA, and the fire department to control fires by putting in more fire hydrants and sources of water, because during fire season, part of the issue is that it takes a while for the trucks that are responding to wildland fires to come out of wherever they're at to fill up their tanks and to go back in. So that grant is due in April. We were also invited from the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation to work with the PD Mayor and Department of Ag to do a watershed project in PD. That's about $300,000. The Micronesia Challenge will be hosting a sustainable finance workshop for its members as part of the pre-conference for the Green Growth Conference. We'll be having our representatives from Palau, RMI, FSM, and MCT, as well as TNC. Recently, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service just today announced that they're going to be putting several species under critical habitat. We're going to have to review that policy and see how it will affect Guam and CNMI. Recently, Department of Agriculture, Guam EPA, and myself were involved with the Micronesian Islands Conservation Strategy. That is a way to manage endangered species on federal properties that will also apply to local property projects as well. And that what that strategy is intended to do is to provide consistent mitigation on managing endangered species, but also improve the permitting process, because that is a big problem for a big barrier for developers on Guam. That tends to be something especially related to the snails. And so that is supposed to be done this year, but Guam has a seat at the table in that discussion, so we've been working with them on that.
What other islands came? I saw that there was the meeting at last week.
It's just Guam, it's just Guam and CNMI, so it's just for the Marianas. I'm sorry, did I say Micronesian? It's just the Marianas, Guam and CNMI, but then it was a bunch of federal agencies, so Department of Interior, the Navy, Air Force, I don't believe it's just a Department of War, but the Navy and the Air Force, plus U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
And then there will be a draft document that comes out later?
Yes. Probably towards the fall of this year. But we are part of that conversation, and our recommendations are incorporated, but we will also review it. The most concerning one is this issue of Guam and CNMI having critical habitat designation. So we need to look at that. We've been working with Emily as well as with your staff and Carlotta developing a climate change policy. We're hoping to get that out sometime very soon, right? That will happen. And then last weekend, Seagrant participated with Thriving Natural Resources and the Niki Association in a sand sculpture, and we had a category specifically for Thriving Natural Resources, and 3 high school students from GW won that category. They ended up getting $300 for their team, so just ways their the Green Growth team and Sea Grant team, the Turtle Project participated in doing outreach to the participants that came for that event, so thank you so much. That's it for me.
We'll move on to the Sustainable Alliances Working Group with Director Melvin Borja.
I'll be super brief. There's not much after our last update, but I did get notice from Carlotta that the textbook project she was working on to have the phased out books from here delivered to Chuck had been delivered. Sorry I didn't send the photo, but I'll send it tonight. Unless she already shared it. And then our Navigating Home fellow Ha'ani St. Nicholas, who's playing lead on the launch of the decolonization exhibit at the Guam Museum. We're hoping we're able to cut ribbon on April 10th. And the last item I have is for the UN update. The UNC 24 Pacific Regional Seminar is going to be held in May of this year in Nicaragua. So we just got the governor's invitation early this morning at like 2 a.m. I got to send it up to Gov's office and see if she's going to end up representing us or if she's going to designate me. But I'll let you know once I get that. That's it.
Okay, thanks,
Thank you.
Would you like to provide some updates?
And I just have a couple more updates from Carlotta, who's not able to make it. The Micronesian Islands Forum will be taking place in the middle of July. So the working groups will be meeting July 13th and 14th. The leaders will be meeting the 15th and 16th. And the leaders will sign the communique on the 17th. So Banshee and Carlotta are setting up working group meetings to prepare for that. The MIF designated reps meeting will be taking place on Guam on April 8th through 9th to set up the MIF agenda. And we'll be at the Wyndham Hotel, and the agenda for that will kind of be following last year's communique. The PIF will be, the Pacific Islands Forum will be happening in Palau in August. We are also looking for different events and opportunities for the next COP, which will be in the fall, to bolster our role in the Pacific. So just keep an eye out and be thinking about that. And for SPC, we continue to be building up Guam's bench with trainings. So there are 4 slots to Papua New Guinea on energy, important maritime issues that we're sending representatives to. The fire chief will be heading to Fiji for Pacific disaster and emergency responders training. And then DOAG will be sending a fisheries specialist. I don't remember where, but about fish counting issues. And that's it from me.
Thank you both for providing those updates. I recognize that we have some working group members who are present today, so I'd like to open up the floor if anybody would like to provide some other updates that weren't mentioned.
Representative, did you say you had something to share too?
Not quite ask, I was gonna ask a question.
Oh, okay.
My chairperson is not here and I don't want to say anything that she's not reporting. All I can share is what's happening at K-12 DOE. All of our schools are now have passed the public health inspections. This is very important to us. In a couple of years ago, all of them have passed, and one school, I think it's Legon Elementary, got a perfect A. So that's good for them. One other thing that we have a recent report, it's not made public yet, but we just met about it last Monday, is what we call the Siemens report on the structural integrity of our schools. And by 2030, some of our schools would be considered condemnable. So that is important to look into for sustainability purposes, and also allotting the funding for which schools need to be taken down or rebuilt. So for me, that's something that our leaders should be made aware of, and not just within DOE, but especially our governor and lieutenant governor. And I think Dr. Wonpat will come to that point of sharing that particular report. One other thing that we have going on in DOE, and not just DOE, is that we partnered with other agencies, and we're having a presentation during the conference of we're building a data analysis group, not just within education, but government-wide. We participated in this very good 4-month-long, waking up at 3 a.m. Multi-level analysis, and we succeeded in 2 analyses already, one of which is a presentation that we will do on April 24 with Dr. Choi and Dr. Sama Pini, former senator. Dr. Choi is the University of Guam professor. The other research that we were able to do, which I would like to share with the rest of government of Guam, another multi-level analysis, is the factors affecting student achievement. And we got accepted to present this at the Chief CCSSO, Chief Council of Chief State School Officers. It's a grouping of superintendents of education throughout the nation, and we will be presenting it in Austin, Texas this June. But that's not the important part of it. The important part is we're now coming up with a group of people government-wide, and we want to train to build a capacity within agencies in order to use all the data that we've collected, sitting there in your agencies and making sense out of the data. In fact, my question earlier is listening on the health group. I asked myself, could we visualize the data? Because there's so much information, I can't remember the numbers. But if we visualize the data and connect them together and actually put it against goals and objectives, which I think our dashboards are supposed to do, right? Our G3 dashboards. But there's so much in there that I'm thinking, wow, if we can put all those factors together, and we will be able to tell the people of Guam, hey, in the health sector, if this is our target for year 2030, we're about 60% type of thing. I don't know, maybe I have to look at your report.
Can we work together?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Zenny. Appreciate that. We just finished updates from all the different chairs that are present, and we were just going through any other updates from the other working group members that are also present.
Great, I'm sorry late. I was with 5 liberators. The youngest one is 99.
Wow.
One of them is 101. So they're one of them is a Guam liberator, and the other, and all 5 of them, they're actually going to Iwo Jima in a few days. So pretty amazing. But I think, did you talk about? I'm sure you talked about the undersea mining, deep sea mining.
Not yet.
Okay. Are you finished with all of the reports?
Yes.
Well, first of all, we have the Island Sustainability Conference coming up in a few weeks, which is going to be very critical.
The April 22nd will be our Great Growth Gathering.
Right, and unfortunately, a few main directors are not going to be here because the Department of War has facilitated a federal engagement. It's the Pre-Economic Adjustment Committee, which is scheduled on April 22nd now. But of course, that's not everybody. There are key people that are going to be here, and I will be here, of course. I think the big threat that we're talking about right now are the recent developments with the effort by the Department of Interior and BOEM to pursue leases for exploration for deep sea mining. Some of you were present, I know Austin was, and Banji and others when we engaged with the BOEM team. And at that time, I was expressing some concern, especially since American Samoa, they doubled the area of interest for American Samoa, and they did the same thing for us. And now the area is 58 miles away from us, the closest point. Which is rather troubling, right? So I would say that government of Guam is still looking at this in a very urgent way, trying to push back and demand for all of the environmental processes that we're accustomed to, knowing that the Federal Register published expedited rules from NOAA, among other agencies. So it's going to require a lot of brain power for us to navigate this time. We're taking a look at all the legal authorities. We're unsure and have questioned whether or not the proper legal authority is being utilized by BOEM to pursue this effort out here. It really is going to require some outreach, I think, with congressional leaders to clarify, and I think just demands for transparency. There are other developments in this book of business right now. Tonga just had a news article today where they are, the new leadership in Tonga is looking at exploration as well. And so this is a widespread movement that is affecting the entire Pacific. One of the areas of concern for us, of course, is our natural resources. So I think that we just need to make sure that everybody on the various teams, government, non-government, civil society, academia, are in sync and are aware of trying to navigate this process rather urgently. And I would just say that this is growing area of concern, very concerned with the rapid pace that it's being deployed, which everybody should be concerned about. And despite assurances that no activity would be occurring, drilling activity would be occurring yet, I think the key issue is whether or not they're going to be successful in issuing these leases, which, as we've seen, have some broad authorities. The entire congressional delegation from Florida is opposed to this. There's some movement happening on that side. We're seeing something in Alaska also, where U.S. Senator Murkowski is trying to examine it. And here, just yesterday, again, in all our engagements with Department of War and the various military commands, we're also expressing concern and asking them to take a look whether or not any of these proposed activities are also going to be interrupting some of their plans and trying to figure out kind of really what our environment is. So that's on one side. Grim news, but I think we should be alarmed and really requires our best minds to try and figure out what our strategies are going to be going forward. Second thing I'd mention is there's a considerable amount of work going on island infrastructure, and we're working right now with some of the projects that we've vetted on the hazard mitigation side, and we know nationwide FEMA's been underperforming on all books of business there. That being said, we did have a good engagement with HUD yesterday. We're anticipating a grant award soon. And I think for the CDBG-DR mitigation projects, I think we're lined up, and I'm thinking we're going to see some more action there. And a lot of those projects are going to be targeting some of the areas that are experiencing a lot of erosion and a lot of danger to life and property. The other development is the Army Corps of Engineers, because there's been changing of funding streams, has withdrawn from certain projects. They no longer are going to be supporting a shoreline protection effort in East Agana. The funding stream for that has been removed by the new administration. That work was designed to protect the erosion issues that have been occurring in East Agana. And we have an approach. That approach is going to be picked up by Public Works and Federal Highway Administration, and because Department of War has put in Defense Access Road monies for Route 1, this is an unmet need that is going to be part of that project, and we've already notified everybody of that. The other thing I'd say is that this engagement I talked about with the governor, that she's going to be meeting with all of the with some of the top agencies. They'll be looking at healthcare reports. Waterworks will be part of that, taking a look at the water and wastewater needs. Power is going to be part of that because they're going to be looking at a lot of the energy resilience that are necessary, including the weatherization and underground transmission lines. Those are big asks that we're pushing with federal government. And of course, Public Works on the roads, along with the natural resource intersects that we have. One of the realities also is US EPA is reducing funding for states and territories. Guam EPA is in an unusual situation where they have a funding cliff that they're facing. That being said, there also is advocacy from other agencies to make sure that they have funding necessary to kind of bridge this gap, since they're a key element in a lot of the military projects already. So it's kind of, I think we can see that the federal government is such a large institution. Actions that occur with one agency, many times are not coordinated with others, and it requires a lot of us to really try and be at our astute about it. So the governor's engagement, she'll have an opportunity to talk about all of these challenges that we're facing, but also pressuring federal government to find solutions to what we believe are priority areas for mitigation, because of the burden that we have to weather with all this expanded growth that we're going to be seeing, right? And of course, growth also means that there's a large number of economic opportunities, which are positive, but at the same time, we're trying to make sure that the people's quality of life is not only maintained, but is improved as a result of all of these activities, which means that, we shouldn't have threats to drinking water. We should have, roads that are going to support the kind of traffic that we see. And of course, we also need to make sure we have affordable housing and that Guam is affordable. So those are big things. Of course, we're unprecedented right now. The president is engaged in other areas of the world that are causing our standard of living to be really battered right now with the high cost of fuel. So, I think that only showcases why the early efforts for us to adopt the renewable energy mandates and to support and expand Guam Power Authority's embrace of those renewable energy mandates are so critical. So the solar farms that are being constructed, the improvements in efficiency at the new power plant, those are all areas. That being said, also looking at opportunities to look at the LNG side. I know that U.S. government is pushing in Asia LNG because they have LNG reserves. This is perfect time. Why not let the military know that they should invest in giving us infrastructure that is probably unaffordable for us. So that's the objective with the federal engagement that the governor is leading up to what we believe will be a economic adjustment committee, and that really is to kind of push all the agenda forward. All the efforts in Guam Green Growth help us really understand where all the gaps of services are across the realm, from socioeconomic challenges to public health concerns, and of course these big threats to natural environment that we're seeing. I'll close by saying that we're in a real wet time for dry season. I was asking, we were celebrating National Meteorological Day, and I was asking Len, do we have a dry season anymore or a wet season? It's hard to imagine, right? We have record amount of rainfall in what normally would be a dry season. So it kind of underscores how very dynamic, yeah.
Good for us.
It is, with the rest, right? But it underscores, how dynamic the situation is changing with weather. And despite, the change in national policy, we have to stay the course here on what we're doing. And so green growth movement and all of your work is so important right now for us to really understand what's happening in our neck of the woods. So I think I look forward to we're going to have a very good engagement in a few weeks. I think. Don't forget that I think unprecedentedly we're going to have concurrent engagements with the other green growth movements in the region, which is something we should celebrate, and actually something that makes us more resilient as we go through this very, very difficult time right now in the federal government. And I guess I'll just close by saying, since the education folks are here, there's a big paradigm shift with funding, and career technical education is going to be a big focus. I'm really advocating for establishing a full-time vocational high school that has been missing from Guam for quite a long time. And I was looking at a metric with GHRA. I was surprised to learn that nearly almost 95% of the hospitality program participants don't complete in the high schools at GCC. So we're working with GHRA on some transportation issues and also paying for some of the certifications that are necessary. So, I think I always talk about this. When I was growing up, everybody had a part-time job. That's how the labor crunch was being met. And we have really low unemployment right now, which means we have to look at other sources of workforce in the high schools, I think, but also I have a large recovery community and incarcerated community that needs help. Bert has a program that finally has some facility and infrastructure moving into the prison. That's the tip of the iceberg where we need to go, because we have record incarcerated people going on.
Yeah. We've already delivered a classroom already inside the prison.
Yes, I am aware.
We've dropped two 40-foot containers welded together as a full-on classroom using a crane over the fence and into the compound right now. And the idea is to make sure that we have a classroom, not just for the Trades Academy, but for anybody else that has classes inside the prison. One of the issues that we were having at the prison was the fact that we'd find individuals get confined, they would serve their time and then get released. And the only thing that was changed in them was their age. nothing else happened.
That's right.
So we're trying to change that. In a little selfish mode, I just don't want to be a victim. I don't want my family to be a victim. I don't want my community to be a victim. If you can change their behavior so that they don't go back into prison, and if they do go back into prison, they're going to go back in there to fix the lights or the air cons, not as a client.
Right, and we don't throw people away, right? A lot of people that are serving sentences are gonna come out, so the point is, not only do you need
Not a
the
lot of
correctional
lifers.
programming, you need to be able to give people the opportunity to empower themselves. So, a lot of work going on, I think on this front, and everybody, I hope you realize, everybody plays a key role in kind of moving this forward, and the key thing too is understanding and confronting and knowing all of the data points that are important to us, and we have that in a very transparent way that is published by CIS and G3 on our website. So these are all positive things for governance that we just need to continue and expand. And a lot of folks are kind of sleeping. They don't realize that the work that they're doing can be counted and included in this effort. It's meant to. It's not meant to give you overwhelming things. It's meant to understand what efforts we can collaborate on and to measure progress that is already being made on a daily basis. That's the point of the engagement. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. We're going to transition in just a couple minutes into our NSF Navigating Home Fellow Spotlight, but I just had one response to you and a quick announcement too. First, just regarding the deep sea mining, we did get a speaker confirmation this morning from Dr. Sabrina Mahuka from American Samoa, who's been leading a lot of the community efforts there. She's also the director of their Office of Resilience under the Governor of American Samoa. But since they've been a couple steps ahead of the process, for us, it'll be really great to get her as a speaker to get some of her insights. And we're also checking with some of the national NGO funders that they're going to help support her travel and perhaps send some other people too, so that we can make sure that that's a significant part of our conference as well for the discussions. Other announcement is that our Guam Green Growth Conservation Corps Season 6 started last week. So they did their first cleanup, which they do on every Friday. There's an island beautification event in partnership with the Mayor's Council of Guam. So they're starting up north and making their way down south. So they started in Jigo last week. 127 bags of trash, 4 bags of aluminum cans, 4 tons of large debris and heavy metals were collected, and 21 tires. So we always show them the numbers that the last cohort were able to collect, and so they're on the move to beat those numbers.
To beat those numbers.
And we welcome volunteers. If volunteers come out on Fridays with them, that's how they're going to beat their numbers. So Friday morning, 8 o'clock, we'll be in Dedido Pipeline. I think you park next to the farmer's market, and the mayor will guide us to the exact spot, and I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit there. So
it's going to be so much fun, guys. Don't wear shorts.
Yes, but every Friday, okay, so we'll just follow the Guam Green Growth social media, and you'll see the announcements there each week.
Yeah,
Very good.
All right. And,
if I could just make a comment, I mean, this is wonderful that we're picking up the trash, but I sit here thinking, what's the mindset of people just throwing trash?
Yeah, that's why the schools are so important with the campaigns. Because
That's right,
the kids
because
are the ones that are making sure people are
because in my head, I mean, what's so hard
They're
about,
probably the ones that are gonna tell the parents and the bad uncles that
you can't put that there, or you
Yeah,
can't throw your
that's
trash.
right.
There's just that, we need to figure out and really, you're right, Lieutenant Governor, it's gotta start in the schools about that service and pride in the island, because when you have that, I mean, I can't even imagine throwing a bag of trash out.
Well, this is also the argument for universal trash collection. Because there are people that are paying private individuals to take their trash, but the trash might not be heading to the landfill, it might be heading into the Dedido pipeline. So, and EPA has a lot of activity going on trying to do enforcement, but sometimes they're not being successful in sustaining some of the fines, especially with the abandoned vehicles. There's still a lot of,
Crazy.
But kudos to them that pick up other people's bad habits.
And I will say though, guys, if you haven't been to a cleanup yet, this is the one to come to. Really, like, we've had students come with us in the past to this cleanup. We've had volunteers just come out and you know, they're expecting like the side of the road, side of the beach, pick up a couple cans. But to really see the problem in its full extent, this is the perfect opportunity. As the judge mentioned, it's bags of trash, it's stuff from people's kitchens, it's their living rooms, it's their moving and they don't have any place to put it or they don't want to take it to the transfer station.
right, stolen vehicles.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But afterwards, everybody that I've talked to who's come in there has honestly told me that they're more motivated and more invigorated towards helping to find a solution. Because to us, I mean, our drive to work, to school every day is what we see. When you go into these hidden dump sites, man, it's mind blowing. Thank you.
There's a lot that are around the wells, GW's wells.
Yep.
So all of that stuff is seeping into the aquifer, into your water system, so it's a
I mean,
big
you
health
folks have to
concern.
hold it out. You folks hold it out. If it's-
Sometimes we do, sometimes it's around the wells we do,
Yeah.
but then it's beyond our well area, right? People go in and it's perpetual, and we even have cameras and it's ridiculous, people don't care. There is not enough enforcement, so there's no motivation not to.
Enforcement and people be made as an example. Like, anyway. Need to do some mafia stuff.
Yeah, so we'll transition now to the next portion of our meeting. As many of you know, we work very closely with the National Science Foundation along with some of our other partners to provide capacity building opportunities for our students here at the university and beyond. One of our favorite programs is right here. It's called NSF Navigating Home. And what this program does is we've worked with the National Science Foundation and some other partners to bring back individuals who have had to leave the island for other educational opportunities. People who have gone off island to get their master's degrees, their doctorates in certain specialties or areas that maybe are not offered here on Guam. So they move off island, they get their degrees, then what? This is a constant struggle, and we're trying to reverse the brain drain, as a lot of folks have coined it, we've termed it. And so with this program, thus far we've been able to welcome back students who have graduated and received these higher level degrees to come back to the island. We have two versions of the program. We have the long-term program, which brings back students, or graduates I should say, for a year-long term. That one flies them back, we give them that allowance, and then on top of that, it places them with a local agency or group that can help to specialize in those regions and expand their impact for the island. So we've had folks who have been here who work at the Guam Energy Office, we've had folks with the Department of Agriculture, with EPA, and today we're here to celebrate another fellow who has navigated home and brought with her a whole lot of awesome background and knowledge, who is here now to contribute everything she's learned to the island that she loves. And we're super, super excited to celebrate and to put some spotlight on our NSF Navigating Home Fellow, Dr. Ha'ani Nicolas. So I'm going to introduce you, of course, to Ha'ani. We're going to introduce you to her mentor. We're going to introduce you to some of the key players here with our Navigating Home program. Dr. Ha'ani is here, and Dr. Ricky's going to tell us a little bit more about some of the great education that she's received off island and how she's going to pump that into our local landscape. She's currently hosted and partnering with doctors from the future. Mr. Melvin Wampabor, he's going to be a doctor soon someday. He is, of course, our director at the Commission on Decolonization and the Department of General Affairs, so we're so glad to have him. And I'm not going to spoil too much about what we're going to talk about, but I'm telling you right now, modern day superhero right here, and we're really, really excited to hear more about some of the great stuff that we've had the opportunity to accomplish. But before we do, I'm going to open up for remarks really quickly. I'm going to turn it over, of course, to our Vice President at the University of Guam, Dr. Ricky Hernandez.
Thank you. Thanks, Kyle. And many of you know me from the airport, but I'm at the University of Guam now. I'm delivering just these remarks together with Dr. Monique Story on behalf of the President and the Senior Vice President. Apologies they weren't able to be here. But it's great to see everyone today to celebrate something that really matters. Our people, our students, and the pathways that bring them back home. And this is what the University of Guam is really all about. Through the work of our CIS and Sea Grant teams and programs like this, the NSF Navigating Home, we're not just educating, we're building bridges. We know that sometimes our students have to leave, as Kyle mentioned, leave Guam to pursue specialized degrees. That's the reality. But just as important is making sure that they have a pathway to come back home and to reconnect, to contribute, and also to lead. And today we're recognizing one of those stories. As Kyle had mentioned, Dr. Ha'ani Sinicolas. Ha'ani began her journey at UC San Diego, earning her degree in ethnic studies and general biology. She continued at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, alma maters of myself and Dr. Shelton over here, where she earned an advanced graduate certificate in women, gender, and sexuality studies. And most recently, she completed her PhD in political science with a focus on indigenous politics. That work couldn't come at a more important time, especially in our island's political history. It's imperative that our people have a seat at the table and have members of our community capable of engaging in these discussions. Having someone like Dr. Ha'ani, grounded in our community and deeply trained in these issues, really matters. It means our conversations are informed and our people have a voice at the table. What makes this even more meaningful is that she chose to come home. As a Navigating Home Fellow, she'll be working with, as mentioned, the Commission on Decolonization alongside a good friend and Director Melvin Wampat Borja and his team. She's bringing everything she's learned back to Guam where it can make a real impact. And this is exactly what we hope for as the university, not just degrees, but purpose, not just success, but service. Dr. Ha'ani, we are incredibly proud of you. Welcome home. The University of Guam stands behind you, and we look forward to everything you'll accomplish throughout this program. And to everyone here, this is what it looks like when we invest in our people and stay connected to our island. It's Zuosmasi and Viva UNG. Thank you.
Dr. Ha'ani did do some classes with us. Of course, she's a Triton, of course, right before moving on to those big degrees.
Yes.
And it's great to have you back. The Navigating Home team, of course, is comprised of several members of our CIS and Sea Grant team. I want to acknowledge, of course, Kat back there from our CBT crew. Please welcome. Dr. Cheryl Sengiza is a co-PI on the program. She's not able to make it here today, but we do have, of course, Dr. Nelson Milanar, who is also a co-PI in the program. The Lieutenant Governor is a co-PI on the program. Very important to bring back this capacity to our island for him as well. So we're grateful to have your support. Our PI is Dr. Austin Shelton, leading the way, of course, with the NSFC's Islands Alliance and now with Navigating Home. So I'm going to turn it over to the Lieutenant Governor. Like I said, this is huge for him, right? He's not very, okay, let me just put it this way. One time we were at a restaurant and I tried to offer him something to eat. I thought, oh, he'll love this. We have the same haircut. He'll enjoy it. He's not a liar. He told me no right to my face. So I said, wow. So to see that this is something that's very important to you and to see you not just talk about it but get in on it. Why and why now with Ha'ani?
Well, thank you very much. And thanks. I'm really happy everybody gets to witness this and just see how diverse the placements for NSF are, right, for Navigating Home. We have a whole bunch of fellows that are in the sciences. And I didn't know, by the way, that you had a biology undergrad, which is really important, actually gives you a really good lens when you're merging that with in the discipline of political science and even narrowly looking also at gender studies and sexuality is pretty amazing. But we have a whole bunch of fellows that are in the natural sciences, that we're confronting a lot of challenges to the natural environment because of unprecedented development, but also, rapid changes in the regulatory process that we're familiar with for protections. We also have fellows that are embracing sciences. They're actually, they're doing chemistry and they're actually participating in the front line of protecting our biodiversity and the front line of investigating some of the things that we're seeing, including in the water supply. So with Ha'ani coming in and taking a look at a very, very long-standing and long unresolved issue of political status and what Guam's political identity is. And I think that being a participant and an observer at the same time in this movement, when there's some significant challenges and roadblocks that have been placed in as part of this environment because of this conflict. And the conflict is that the United States was founded for not having colonies, and it doesn't know how to deal with the fact that it has. It's like this ugly secret, and the country is so big, even for the 50 states, that getting attention and trying to find what the legal strategy is even a conflict, because we have historic injustices and treaties that have been signed, but we also have the rule of law, and we also have the U.S. Constitution, which has been imposed but cannot be entirely relied upon when you're a U.S. citizen living in the territory. Very complicated situation. And the only way out of it is really to understand the environment and to figure out and apply and also to empathize with all of the members of the Guam political community that are affected by this issue. So I think, Hani, it's a great time to be here, although there are unprecedented challenges. I think we know that the only answers really are through Congress. And not having voting congressional representation, or having maybe a political leadership that hasn't resolved on a strategy and has not given instructions sometimes to the government on where to go next, I think is a big issue. So at the same time, there's an unprecedented amount of interest on this issue, especially from younger people in this community. It is unprecedented. When I was in my 20s, there was only a few of us that actually understood or were getting involved in the issue and understanding it. There's a lot more now, and there's a lot of academic thought, and there's a lot of publication. So, Ani, I remember talking with you years ago and part of your journey, and I just wanted to say we really appreciate that you know that your place is here. And I'm really excited that we get to be a little divergent in how the Navigating Home program is evolving. So congratulations and thank you.
Awesome. It brings up a huge point, right? There's a lot of people these days who maybe 20 years ago were not born, who are super interested in this discussion, in this fight. And I credit this man right here with really bringing that conversation to the front of so many minds. He now serves as a mentor for Dr. Ha'ani. We turn it over to Mr. Melvin Ontegua.
I know which one of you was supposed to tell me I had to prepare something.
Don't be Cameron.
We're really excited to benefit from this program. I think that we somehow always find our way back to this brain drain conundrum that we have in Guam, and recognizing that there's more Tomotos living outside of Guam than there are in Guam. And Tomotos are now a minority in their own homeland. And so, this is a critical issue because, at the heart of self-determination and decolonization, it must be led by the people. And so, if our best and our brightest are finding better opportunities elsewhere, then, where does that leave us? And so, to be quite honest, I was excited about the program. I didn't think that it would apply to us in our little kind of pocket of work. But I want to thank Austin and the team for really kind of stretching the scope on this thing and giving us an opportunity to benefit. It's been a pleasure to have Ani as a part of our team, and it's nice, good timing for us, and that we're about to launch our exhibit at the Guam Museum, and a big focus of the exhibition is on the American colonial era, but more so what has been our our local agency, what have we done? How have we been proactive? How have we resisted and, you know, continue to assert our rights and, you know, continue to advocate and fight for those things. So it's a really cool time. You know, like LT mentioned, this is something that is a lot more important to younger people. We've been, as a team, we've been very deliberate about engaging high school students. We used to get a lot of flack for it in the beginning. Back in 2019, when we first started doing this, we used to get criticized that we're wasting commission money because these kids they're not even old enough to vote yet. But in 2019, all of those freshmen are now voting age. So, you know, we recognize what time it is in our current challenges and, you know, what are the impediments that are posed on us in the legal framework. And so we're just really trying to be proactive and do what we can as much as we can. And, you know, it's always been a challenge having enough hands on deck to, you know, our mandate is to educate the whole island. And there's 3 of us. So having a 4th is awesome. We're super excited to have this contribution. And we're just really grateful for the opportunity to do so. And I think it's, you know, especially meaningful that we're bringing one of our own home and somebody who's, you know, educated and passionate and ready to do the job. So thanks to Austin and the team for giving us the opportunity, considering us as an applicant. It's really a great thing for us.
Thank you very much, Director. And now we turn it over to our spotlight here today. Now, Ani, you had a great chance to really experience, right? Off Island, and now you're here, you hit the ground running. Tell us about your experience thus far and some of the things that you've been able to do since coming on board.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here and for all of your support, especially to those mentioned already. LT, thank you for supporting me in this program. Of course, Dr. Shelton, Dr. Elsa, Dr. Cheryl, who's not here, and also those who help with the ins and outs of the program. So Catherine, Frankie, Axel, and then also Director Wampat Borja, who leads our small but very mighty team at COD, which is also Harmony and Byron, who's not here today. So I had actually come on board this program because of my good friend, Morgan Guerrero. She's in the back over there. She was the first Navigating Home Fellow a few years ago. And I had come home last year at a really awkward time in my studies. I was almost done. I was ABD, but I was very eager to use my expertise and my skills to return and be part of the local workforce. But I was really kind of struggling to find my niche or somewhere that would embrace all of these different skills I had. And she actually pointed me to Dr. Shelton and the Navigating Home team. And from there, when we had our first initial conversations, and I was telling them my interests are kind of outside of this scope of hard science. I do social science, women gender studies. They're really supportive, and they wanted to bring me on board because they also believed in this mission of bringing local talent back home. And so that's how it all started. And from there, Melvin just got me introduced to the team. I think the first week I had already started outreach at one of the high schools. From then on, we've done so many different outreach events at private and public institutions. I had the opportunity to accompany Mel to the United Nations C4 in October, where I was able to deliver a petition on the question of Guam. And I was able to accompany Mel at these different meetings with missions and delegates, really seeing the ins and outs and the stakes of what decolonization means for Guam at this international scale, and also seeing all the hard work he does and what COD does that doesn't always get acknowledged. So that was a great opportunity. I also had the chance to go to SACNAS with other Navigating Home Fellows and Dr. Shelton and seeing what they're doing in that space. I've also been able to just support the commission and all these different endeavors, the small things we do on the daily. And then of course, like he mentioned, I'm taking the lead on executing this exhibit that focuses on grassroots decolonization in Guam, really spotlighting these different figures in our community who have done so much to bring us to where we are today, even though there's still so much work, like you were saying, in this path forward towards decolonizing Guam and resolving our status. I can't believe I'm already 6 months in, and I have 6 months more to go, but I'm really looking forward to all that we have to do now and then seeing what Navigating Home has for me even after my term. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody.
So she kind of breezed over it, so I'm going to put a bigger light on it. This one spoke at the United Nations. Right? Round of applause. So, Dr. Ani, you mentioned, you're about halfway through the program. We still have spots open, and shout outs again to the whole CBT team for the hard work that they do to help bring this opportunity to others. What would you say to someone who might be interested in this program?
I would tell everyone, even like younger students who ask me, you know, what should they choose for their path in undergrad, I say just try, because you never know what the other side of the door will be. I was surprised also, like Mo was saying, that the NSF team was met me with a resounding yes. So, you know, you never know what will happen, so just apply and just see what is available. And, you know, from this experience too, it's so obvious that we want to welcome our people back home, so yeah, just apply.
Perfect, perfect. My last question for you, before we take our group picture, and send you back to work looking lost there. He's fine. 5 years from now, this may have been one of your interview questions. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years?
5 years from now, I entered the program knowing I wanted to serve the community. I didn't know if that would be in the nonprofit space, an institution like UOG or in the government, but I know I just want to serve my community and be home. It was never a question that I wanted to work or be anywhere else. So yeah, I just want to be home and serve my people.
Great. Love that. We're glad you're home. Welcome home. All right. Ani Sinikulas.
One quick comment, just if you're wondering if this works, or is Hani going to try to escape the island again? No, we only gave her a one-way ticket, and we asked, and we don't pay her that much, so we afford a ticket back to the States. And our first fellow, though, she's still here. There's Morgan Leon Guerrero in the back.
Stand up, Morgan.
She's still working at Guam Energy Office, and we brought you home how many years ago?
It was the summer of 2022.
All right, very good. Thank you for being home still.
Stay home. All right, well, with that said, again, thank you so much. If I can ask please for our PIs, our group, to join us up front here for our group pick with Ms. Alani.
Are we sitting down or standing up?
Sure, go ahead.
Two more people. Harmony, why don't you get it? You're part of the
Harmony, please come here, Harmony.
For IG.
Okay, ready? Here we are, right here. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
I'll let you know.
So it's only.
Congratulations.
That's
Did we put in February? So we put in 7. This is another. February was supposed to happen. Yes, it's 3 days. And I worked with her to get like
Yeah, because you know what?
Beautiful.
I'll send you the present. Oh, yeah. I wanted to.
I love your project. See?
But they need to.
Oh, this last week? Oh my goodness.
Because the son, I forgot I gave the link to the son. And hopefully the son, I don't know, yeah, fill it out.
So there's a
Sign in and then we
link,
took
so
it down.
And then more recently, just like.
No.
Go right, I'm losing some of them, because they can't find it.
And if you
Don't say no.
I mean, it's a plus for us.
But people ask about this legal set. She's looking for staff that you just take. Let us go. Get experience and then come back. So we have 2 weeks to get first want to do it first and I'll say.
So there was a form. But there's their process. So we just.
Every time I pass by, you go to my office, I'm like, what are you? It's under more another building here.
Yeah, so it would be good if this form was fulfillable.
Yeah, so, but let me find out if there's a phone. That we can. It's a lot easier. But I'll be happy to.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Okay, thanks.
How are you?
Good. Game for you.
Good.
Just as long as we're able to support, it would probably be all the work that you do is
They kind of are hesitant to meet with us, but it comes like 6 different times to say, hey, we're here again, you're fine again. Maybe the school, when they figure out how we've met with these other nations that they're allies with, and they say, okay, now I know what this is for, and I know what to meet. But, to us, it's manually like, history in like 30 seconds, and then ask.
I think that would be more probable
And then they also invite subject matter expert. In the past, it's been to get Paco to try to get Paco. The last 2 years, Community fairness is all together. Independent resources that did show up, they're self-funded. Which sucks because usually those are like,
Off again.
they're like the same class. Like,
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course. I decided to come because I have. That's why I'm like, he wants to go. Are these important? I know, but I just haven't.
That was just because they get
And then look, I'm gonna miss it. The conference.
Like I said, you know,
It's just
very
timing.
understandable. You're doing a lot of things. It's not a matter of you just prioritizing it. It's
No,
just you have
but
other
then I
things.
made it a priority to come because I have it. I appreciate it.
So we'll be in contact, like I said, anyway, the week of the 6th, that sounds more probable for everybody else.
Good. Okay, thank you. Drive safe. And happy Easter. Yes. Yes, happy Easter.
We'll see if we get lucky and get some funding. Regardless.
Sorry. So let's see, you know,
Yeah, that's the, just. Absolutely.
one of your office. I go. Okay.
I haven't seen you in a long
Everything. I hate talking to people. I do too.
But then sometimes
Yeah, no, I
people
told
think
him tomorrow.
it's, you know, it's like,
I told him, that was it.
finish some stuff. So funny.
Because we know we have to be in there.
I'm gonna